Well, we're back live right here at Global Leaders. My name is Rajiv Mothie, and today we got a lady who's making such a significance in South Africa. She has not only just empowered youth, ladies, and a whole lot of people, she's making a difference in a community. We are truly blessed to have with us the incredible Francina. Francina, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and how are you?
Fantastic. So, in our segment number one, Francina, we want to get to know you a little bit more. We want to know who is Francina, where you from, and all of that good stuff. So, tell us more about yourself.
No, thank you very much. My name is Francina Tsoku. I'm a teacher by profession. I did my degree in teaching in the University of the North, and I started teaching. Teaching is my passion. It remains my passion until to date. But then, with the operations that you find yourself in, I had to leave the classroom when I became one of the provincial office bearer for the South African Democratic Teachers Union.
Wow.
And that's where the impact had grown from the community and then to the whole province of Northwest. When I started teaching, the funniest part that I did, because I was the chairperson of the Women's League of the ruling party in the branch. So there were a lot of elderly women who could not read and write. Right. And then I opened a night school.
Nice.
So that I must teach them to read and write. It was a nice feeling. Today they're still calling me their teacher. Wow. And you can imagine they're around 80 years old, 70 years like Pinky. And they still, when they see me in the community, they still call me a teacher because I taught them to write. I told them to fill the forms. And you know what? That thing made me realize if in a day I can touch and change a life of one person, I have really achieved. And that has been my motto. As a Christian, I normally tell people, wherever God lead me, I'm ready to follow. And that is what I've been doing all along. When I serve the teachers, you will remember that the South African Democratic Teachers Union is one of the biggest unions that we're having. You can imagine the impact that one was doing because we have to be knowledgeable. We have to read. You have to understand. We have to unpack. Right. We have to represent them. And I was calling myself a bush lawyer because you must represent them when they have dispute and hearings. And you get to learn a lot in terms of the legislative framework and everything. But then I went to work for the Department of Education in Northwest. And then my passion grew that, you know what, I wanted to assist parents in schools because most of them, they lack like education. And I just feel when you have, why don't you fill up the others so that they are able also to know what you are having. And then that's when I joined the National Association of School Governing Bodies. I can tell you I enjoy it very much. As I'm sitting here tomorrow, I'm having 4 workshops in 4 different districts this week, so that the newly elected parents in the school governing body of Northwest, I'm able to share some information with them.
Wow.
We have powered with one sponsor donor called GGMT, so that they then assist us to accommodate them to do what, and then we are going to run it. And I'm so thrilled. I'm looking forward to it because those parents from those workshops, they come motivated. They go back very motivated.
I can imagine.
You can imagine they are newly elected. They were elected in March, April. So they don't know anything mostly about the education legislative framework and what. So when you share with them, that's one of the best things that you do. When you write the media statement, when you have input on writing the presentations or the pamphlets, whatever that you do, it becomes one of the things that you are saying, you know what, God, I'm on this earth of yours to make a change, yes, to make an impact. And that is my belief this far. And these things, they make you grow loving. You know, I normally tell people, we were born to live and love. Then we can add laughter. Whatever that we are doing, it is our mandate. But God said, go there and live, go there and love, go there and laugh. So we must enjoy love. We must enjoy life. We must make sure whatever that we do, we care for other people. sympathy and empathy became our cornerstone, so that then we are able to assist every person. And I can tell you, it's one of the best things that I enjoy. As the assistant pastor in church, you normally have to counsel people. You can imagine what COVID-19 did to a lot of families. So you must counsel them, you must make them understand we must pass through this period. That, you know what, when you are going through a lot of stuff, it makes you stronger. It strengthens not only your faith, but you are able to open your eyes and see the broader picture that in the world you must share, in the world you must love, you must accommodate, you must give. So you are able to do all those things. And I am telling you, my colleagues normally laugh at me because people are still asking me the homeworks of their children. And some are teachers, but they will ask me, how can this one, what is, and I give myself time to assist every person. Changing lives one day at a time for one person still remain my passion.
Wow, 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 wow. I honestly didn't want to even butt into that because you can see she's a lady that has so much of value. You know, she's going out into the rural areas, teaching people how to read, teaching people how to write. And I believe you also nominated as Influential Woman of the Year 2020, 2021. And that's such an incredible milestone as well. So you are a lady with lots of accolades and making lots of difference. So let's hop straight into segment number two. Segment number two is all about life secrets. What are some advice you can give to the people out there? And I will say some of the things that helped you overcome your challenges, because each one of us face different challenges. What are some of the things that helped you overcome the challenges that you faced?
Wow. um, Life is the best teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
The more you are not sitting still in a corner, the more you learn. And when you learn, the more you are able to cope, the more you realize how to cope in this changing world. I told you I was the chairperson of the Women's League of the ruling party in a branch. You can imagine how many members were following me. I was also the branch secretary of the same ruling party. You can imagine decisions that I should be able to take on behalf of every person who is affected. Now I'm the national office bearer for the National Association of School Governing Bodies. You can imagine I must take decisions. The debate now is that all primary school children should open next week. That is the one of the toughest
You're
decisions.
sitting on the hot seat right now.
And yes, the decision must be taken. We must be able to have empirical evidence.
So
why are we
how
not doing?
how do you I'm sorry to cut you off there, but how do you make these sort of decisions? What are some of the things that help strengthen you to make these powerful decisions?
All the time you must know all is not lost. Whatever that you are facing, there is still a second chance.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you fall, don't stay down. Make sure you wake up and try another time. Even if you can try 7 times. What I've learned is that leaders that have achieved in this earth, they have tried more than 5 times. But after the 5th time, they were able to snatch it and get it right. And when you are not facing challenges and tribulations and all, I am telling you, you are not living. You must face them. Because when you face them, inside you, there is this animal that you don't know, that is able to come out and stand here. And sometimes you have to support yourself. Because every person will think, this one is a strong person, does not need support. When you are facing challenges, where I'm sitting here, I have buried 2 of my sons. And I normally tell people, after a death of a child, there is life. It does not mean when those things come to you, it means God does not love you or God loves you less or that you are unfortunate. No, it does not mean like that. It means God has measured you and saw your strength and said, this one is able to carry this one, and you must be able to carry it. And indeed, the family sometimes are leaning on our shoulders. So when you crumple and fall, the family will be affected and fall with you. Sometimes you have to be your motivator. As much as I'm motivating people, I'm a motivator of a lot of people, doing it formally and informally, whether in church or in the society. But sometimes
you
also need to motivate yourself so that you then understand why are people having stress, depression, why are people suicidal. You have to understand those things. You have to speak to your children who are at adolescent stage. You have to speak to the elderly ones in your own family, in your own house. before you can say I must address the community. And people now are calling me mother everywhere, queen mother, mother, queen mother. And normally those titles, you earn them. They don't come automatically because you are a woman. They come. You can imagine in the politics as a woman, you have to fight masculine patriarchy, men. You have to fight those things. But how do you fight? How do you fight them? No, you don't have to be physical. You don't have to be arrogant. You have to have knowledge. You have all the time to keep. I wear my smile every time wherever I go. And there is one pastor who normally tells me, "Hey, this time we miss your infectious smile when I'm absent in anything." Because, the more you speak less when you are angry, the better.
Yes.
That's the motto that I can encourage every person to say. When you feel you are angry, when you feel you are so hurt, speak less. Because words, you cannot withdraw them. But when you have cooled down, you are able to address the matter without emotions. When my kids ask me something, I normally ask them, is this an emotion or emotion? And then they will ask, no, Mama, it's not an emotion. No, that is an emotion. Now you are blackmailing me because I told you the emotion should be saying like this. So it assists you when you practice it in the house so that when you take it to the community, because you must take it to the community before you can influence the whole of South Africa, take it to the community, take it to everywhere. When the National Association of School Governing Bodies say, Comrade Tsoku, you must go to Western Cape and address the following. You must be able to say, at least in my household, I've addressed them. In my community, I've done it. In the schools that I'm managing, I've done it. So I can go to Cape Town and do it. And thanks, it works.
That was incredible because I feel like I'm talking to myself. These are some of the things that I've learned from my mentors in terms of persistence and never giving up. Because you're so right when you say some of the greatest leaders in this world has failed more than we can even imagine.
Yes.
But the greatest strength is that they never give up and they keep persisting. And we're back for segment number 3 with the incredible Francina. And I must say, I've just been sitting out here and nodding away because, Francina, you have so much of energy and so much of vibe. And I can see you've empowered so many people, so many women, and you're doing it on a daily basis. And despite the challenges, despite the hurdles, you just keep persisting, you just keep moving forward. Now, in segment number 3, it's all about role models. It's all about the people that you look up to, because I'm sure there's many people who look up to you and, look at you as that role model. But who does Francina look up to as a role model? I like that smile. There's the infectious smile again, right?
No, thanks very much. I am from a family of 4 siblings that only the 2 of us survived. My elder sister and myself. So I was born the 3rd born, raised the last born. And that thing made me to focus. You can imagine the age gap between me and my sister. So I had to be independent at a very young age. But I think the person who made me to go, told me to go and grab the world is my father. That man just told me, you know what? Whatever that you want to do, go and do it.
Yeah.
But remember, a decision that you take today is going to affect you tomorrow. That's the only sentence that my father to date is still telling me. By the way, he's still alive at the age of 85 in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, wow.
I
Congratulations on that one. Eh?
I remain so blessed to still have 2 parents. But I think that is the one person that has pushed me. But on the way, you meet a lot of people. You meet teachers that will impact on your life at a very young age, that will tell you some of the principles that you won't understand. But as you live and engage, you can see, okay, remember as a SATU leader, I was leading the teachers who taught me in primary school, who taught me in middle and high school. And by that time, they had to call me their leader. And you are humbled one way or the other. Whether you want it or you don't, you just have to say, okay, so this man, my teacher, is also calling me my leader in the same breath that people are doing. And those key things, they keep you going. When you engage them, they engage with you at the level that you are. When they want assistance to you, when their things are not going well, they come to you on their personal, on their professional, on their careers. And that thing make you to say, Lord, Help me not to be bigger than life. Help me
Yes.
to remain humble. Help me all the time to remain on the mandate. And those things, they assist you. You are always within limit. You are accessible. People are able to speak to you in the any other language. And that thing, they assist you. And yeah, I think one of the people that all the time I tell people, my father gave me the platform. He told
Wow.
me the world is the stage and I must dance on it. And that is what I'm doing
Ah,
all
you're
the time.
definitely dancing on that stage, and you're doing a very powerful dance, I must add. So, last question from the for the incredible Francina. COVID-19 has been a truly crazy pandemic that not just affected South Africa but the entire world. What sort of advice would you like to give to all the people out there who's facing this pandemic now? I'm talking about the entertainment industry, the schools, the teachers, everybody out there. What advice would you like to give them, Francina?
If you have asked us 5 years back about COVID-19 or whatever, anything that will have locked us indoors, we'll have said, I stopped dreaming. But 2020 came with the realities. A lot of people where we are starving. It's not a joke. It is so painful. People are not affording. Life is so difficult. But what I can tell them, there is still hope.
Yes, ma'am.
They must not lose hope. They must not lose courage. They must never give up. They must continue fighting in the little corners where they are. You know, when we were growing up in Sunday school, we will sing Light in the corner where you are. And that song sometimes speaks a lot because you must continue doing that, lighting the light in the corners where you are. It's difficult now to assist each other because financially everybody is bankrupt. Like every person is bankrupt. But I'm telling you, this period will get through.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
will win it as long as one we are following government regulations. Remember, they put those regulations from empirical evidence. They have studied and researched, and it is the doctors there that are used to advise the cabinet. It is their periphery. It is their area. They are knowledgeable. So when they say stop, let's stop. When they
Yes,
say
ma'am.
go, let's go. Whatever that they are giving us, the robot lights they are giving us, let's stick to them so that we must remain safe. Washing hands, putting on the mask all the time, avoiding crowded areas, avoiding visiting elderly parents like my parents. Don't visit them unnecessarily because if they catch the COVID, they will not survive. But above all the myth about vaccination should fall off because if it is approved, it should be used for us. We have been vaccinated before when we are still young for the polios and the measles, and that's why we have survived until this far. We will still survive. We will beat COVID together as
Yeah.
long as we play according to the regulations that are there.
I love that. I love that. What a leader. You know, what a leader. You can literally, I'm sitting out here and you can just listen to her talk with so much of vibe. I love when she mentioned never give up. I think that is such the cornerstone right now. We've actually
Yes,
got a movie releasing soon called Never Give Up. It's to
totally.
help the people out there know that mindset is one of the most important things. And
It
as
is.
your
It
father
is.
told you, the world is your stage. Go
Yes.
out there and dance.
Yes. Yes.
Any last words, Francina, before we love you and leave you?
What I can tell, it has been an incredible journey to be part of the most influential women with the Big M production.
Thank you.
A person has learned a lot. I've met a lot of people who have engaged. What I can tell people is that go out there and make impact. It must not end here with us. There should be a layer, a generation behind us who are following on our footsteps because we can't rule this world forever. There should be young people, young girls that should come out behind
Yes.
us and say, if these women have done it, we are able to do it. That's the only thing I can tell. It is possible.
Love it. I love it. Well, the Young Entrepreneurship Program is something that we're working on. And it's people like Francina that are the role models for all the youth out there so that you know no matter what you're facing, put your mind to it and go out there and get it. From myself, Rajiv Mothie, I've got one thing left to say. You guys have just been motivated.